What is going on, everybody? So today I'm going to go over a really cool nano aquarium that we have here at the shop. Innovative Marine, 20 gallons, amazing tank, and it is a true mixed reef. It's kind of unique and kind of cool to see a mixed reef on such a small level. 20 gallons, I mean, 20 gallon saltwater tanks are hard enough, but to get a mixed reef out of it, that's pretty cool. But before we get to that point, before we get to that tank, I wanted to show you guys some really cool fish that we just got in recently on a shipment that are in quarantine right now. There's some really unique stuff here that you don't see in a lot of shops, so I want to share that with you guys. So let's take a look. First up here we have a tank full of Bartlett Anthias, and everybody's kind of being a little bit nippy because I'm at the tank and they think they're going to get fed. But the fish I want to talk about is this little blue guy right here, this little blue damsel. Now I know a lot of people say stay away from damsels, they're aggressive, they're mean, blah blah blah. Well, this is an Alani damsel. And what makes them so unique and so cool is they're not as aggressive as your normal damsel, your blue damsels, your Kupang damsels and all that. But these guys actually shoal and like to hang out with Anthias. So if you get a school of Anthias and you have them in your tank like these four right here, and you have this Alani damsel in there as well, he will actually kind of hang out with them. So you'll get the nice light colors of the Anthias, but then you got that blue mixed in there. And yeah, he'll just hang out with the Anthias and just be part of the crew. And they actually do this in the wild, so it's a normal behavior, but it's really cool in the reef aquarium setting. Next up, we have some wild canary blennies. Canary blennies, I think, are a really good fish for aquariums. Number one, I love the yellow on them. I love the way they move. I love that see how that tail is moving right there? That's so cool looking. They're hardy. These are wild caughts. We have some aquaculture babies, I'll show you in a second. But what makes them so cool is they're peaceful, but they also aren't easily bullied because they are venomous. So any bigger fish that tries to mess with them too much, they can defend themselves, to a reasonable extent. Also have an angel fish in there, a bicolor angel. And down here, kind of in the same kind of behavior, we have the Smith's blenny, which you can see they kind of have that very purposeful swimming. They just don't have that bright yellow color, but they have like a silverish white to them, which is still really pretty, but very similar behavior to the canary blenny. And on that note, we have the fork-tail blennies in here, and then we also have a Midas blenny, which, everybody loves Midas blennies, right? Look at this guy. Look at the color on that. Like, they just stand out like crazy. And again, that nice yellow body. My only beef with the Midas blenny is they do like to hide a lot, so they're not very active swimmers. They like to hide in rocks and caves and things like that, so you might not see them as much, but they have great personalities and great color. The fork-tail blenny, on the other hand, beautiful fish. Again, it's a fang blenny as well, so same basic temperament. Just don't get as much of that yellow, but you do get some of that bicolor, which is nice too. You get a little blue in the front there. And these guys also can be aquacultured. Up top, we got some Nanos. These guys are going into a customer with a large aquarium, a very big aquarium. So they'll be finding their home relatively soon once they're done with quarantine. The thing about the Nanos, having them here at the shop, is they're just relentless eaters. They're like little piranhas. They don't stop eating. It's crazy. Over here, we have some butterfly fish. And these guys are great at eating Aptasia. Not reef safe, but great at eating Aptasia. And if you're doing mostly, like a basic corals, and you're doing or a fish only tank, these guys are great for that, as well as these guys right here. Beautiful fish. My God, look at the gold on these. Remember how I was saying before, we have the baby canary blennies. These guys are aquaculture. We have a bunch of these in the tank. Also raising some birdie and nudibranchs in this aquarium, which I'm gonna save that for another video because this is really cool. I'm excited. We just got babies. I'm really excited. Let me move on. Got a blenny here, another butterfly fish. Also hiding out in this tank is a Tamini tang. The Tamini tang is a very underrated tang. Everybody goes after the blue hippos. Everybody goes after the yellow tangs and all that stuff. The Tamini tang, very underrated tang. And actually, if he comes out here, this little guy is great for smaller aquariums. So if you have about a 80 to 100 gallon tank, they'll work for you. They stay relatively small. Great at eating detritus, picking off the rocks, keeping your tank clean. Great utility fish in that sense. But underrated fish, flame fin Tamini tang. He's in there with a firefish that you can see up against the glass. Yeah, Underrated tang, love them. Speaking of detritus eaters, here is a bristletooth tang in this tank. He's also very good at eating detritus and cleaning your rocks and grazing on algae. And then something you don't see often is hard because these guys are shy. Right there, I know it's a little blurry, I'm sorry about that, but there's only so much I can do. Those are blue gunging gobies. And let me tell you that the camera cannot pick up how blue they really are. These fish are beautiful. Very similar to kind of the shape of a bar goby, but these guys are blue with some hints of yellow and black in there. Their eyes are bright blue. Again, the camera does not do it justice. Oh man, I am really I've worked in a fish store for I think going on 3-4 years or something like that, probably about 4 years, and I've been through, you know, hundreds of fish orders, and I have to say this is the first time that I remember in recent memory that we've gotten the blue gungans gobies in, and I know they're a little bit harder to deal with, especially because we are quarantining them. It's a risk on our part, but anybody who comes picks these fish up and gets these fish when they're done with quarantine is gonna be very lucky. But just make sure you have a lid on your tank because these guys are jumpers, just like a bar goby or a firefish or something like that would be. You wouldn't want to spend the time and the money getting this fish just to have it jump, so definitely need a lid on your tank. And we come to these 3 fish here at the end. There's one back there, this little hunchback in the middle who's got tons of personality, and then this one that's a little bit more shy. But hey, what's that sound? Oh, you know what time it is. Name that fish! All right, so let's play the game, Name That Fish. I want to know if anybody down in the comments can name this fish. If you can, if you get it right, I will comment back. 1 through 5, you can earn up to, let's do 4 shrimp for this. I will comment back with 4 shrimp emojis if you can get the right answer to this. But yeah, name this fish. Beautiful. And if you watch my videos in the past, you should definitely know what this fish is. All right, so now let's get into the 20-gallon innovative marine tank, mixed reef, that we have here at the shop. And just by the looks of it, you can tell how mature this aquarium is. It's been up for a while, but there's nothing like crazy about this tank as far as equipment goes. It's basically your standard innovative marine that comes with all your standard stuff, except we've added some, you know, little power heads, J-bow I think, or something like that. 1 power head over here. We have Hydra 32s on top, 2 of those. And this is what we're getting. We have an ATO, obviously, to keep the water level good. But other than that, we don't have anything else going on here. And this is the result. I mean, look at this. Look at the rock flowers. They're actually sprouting out babies, growing like crazy. We have some green star polyp right here. Some rasa zoas, a bunch of different types of zoas. So you have your softies here. Then you have your LPS with the goniopora right there. You have a little leptastria. Was that the jack-o'-lantern? Is that the jack-o'-lantern? Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, coral people. I know there's a lot of coral heads out there. Is that the jack-o'-lantern lepto? Let me know in the comments. And then we have this monopora. And monopora setosa, some acros over here. More rastas. A ton. This monopora setosa is just grown like crazy. We've actually had to like frag some of it off. This chalice coral over here is they're gonna end up having some issues, so we got to keep that buffer zone. But this chalice coral was just a little frag. You see that? You can see where it's kind of grown out and over. But we got to keep a buffer zone here because I don't want to lose the setosa. This thing is freaking beautiful. You can tell. Just look at that orange. It's just so bright. But this chalice coral is just growing nuts. Then we got a full head of Duncan here, which these 2 clowns have basically claimed as their own little territory. And there's tons of heads on here. And it is love and life too. And I'm pretty sure the clowns have been feeding it and keeping it fed. So that's probably another reason why it's doing so good. Some more monopora in the back. Hey, let's see if anybody in the comments, again, coral people, tell me what kind of monopora this is growing there in the back, if you know. More monopora to the left there. A bunch of different types of zoas mixed in there. And yeah, this whole tank is just unbelievable. And we're constantly having to frag out of it just because things are just growing like crazy. So if you have a 20-gallon innovative marine, you definitely can do a mixed reef. You definitely can do acros. You can definitely do SPS, monopore, and all that stuff. Just give it time. Believe in yourself. Like, believe in the process. You can achieve it. This is nice. And honestly, this tank isn't even where we want it. Like, we still got some work to do. We got some cleaning up to do, but this tank is going to get even nicer because we recently just moved it. So I think there's some jawbreakers in here, jawbreaker mushrooms. You can see over here. But it's got a little bit of algae in some areas, so we want to clean that up. Maybe get some cleanup crew in here. But we got to do some fragging, some trimming, because we don't want things to overtake other stuff. But I think if we can make some more room, possibly get some other cool corals in here. What could we fit in here? I'd love to hear you guys'. I'd love to hear any options for what should go in here. Now we got these two monopores battling it out here in the corner. And then let's take a look at the filtration real quick. This is what we got, some bunch of biomedia in here. Looks like it's time to change the filter media. A bunch of rocks, biomedia right here. So there's tons of surface area for bacteria to grow. And that's pretty much it. We have some ATO. We have ATO going on here, but I mean, look at the coralline algae here and the growth in the back. I think the key to the success of this aquarium basically comes down to just time, just trusting the process, going, not rushing, and just letting the tank age. And this is the result, and I'm so happy the way this has turned out. This little 30-gallon innovative marine is next. We're going to go ahead and break this down, start over, and we're going to make this a mixed reef aquarium as well. And I think what we're going to do is put my anglerfish from my house into this aquarium, so it's going to be a ton of corals, and then the anglerfish is going to be in there. I think that's what we're going to do. But this is the next tank we're going to be doing, and we're going to be having a video on our step-by-step process from the minute we set this tank up to where it ends up, of how to do it, guidelines, how to start your tank, when you're ready for coral, when you're ready for fish, all that good stuff. We're going to do a video on it. You'll be able to see what we do, how we go from something like this to this. And you can basically follow us along. We'll put it in a playlist or something like that, and you guys can follow along and do exactly what we do. And hopefully you can have, a successful tank like this or something that resembles this. So we plan on doing this in the very near future. I think as soon as I get a chance, some open free time, which is hard, I'm going to restart this whole thing and get it going. And I really look forward to that. Other than that, it's just been really busy with service and everything else we have going on here. Quarantining the fish always keeps us busy and on our toes. We also got quarantine coral. So there's always something going on, let alone what we have to deal with at customers' houses, which, is a challenging thing, and I enjoy it. And that's why we opened the quarantine shop, because we want to do things the right way. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of that little 20-gallon Nano aquarium. And would you be interested to seeing us, setting up that 30-gallon long? In the process of that, would you guys be interested in seeing that? All right, I got to get going because I have a million things to do. I'll see you guys on the next one.